Would you like to start the introductions?
Sure, since you're tired.
Yeah.
Hello,
Sorry. That's definitely the reason.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sean, React the Case channel arranger, and this is Umu. She's tired, but also our amazing leader of the channel.
Oh, thank you. You flatter me too much. Hi, everyone. It's been a while since we've done a first listen. Yeah.
Yep. Stamp on it.
Just a disclaimer, I was up till like 4 a.m. doing an interview, so today's words will not be the best, but let's rely on Sean to do all the smart talking, and I'll supply all the entertaining facial expressions.
Yes.
Yeah, so stamp on it. Got the B.
Yes.
First one up. It's composed by Steve Diamond, Adrian Thesson, Nerman Haram Basic. We know him. He's done a lot of ESPA stuff, right? Ronnie Svensson and Judith Fake. She's done a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
All right. Solid team. Are you ready to feel like a goddess?
Yes.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah! Double time. No. The saxophone is so fun. Oh! Nice color change.
Yeah, major third. More like major 1, minor 4 progressions like in Stamp on It.
Slowly adding in more and more layers. Was that a cashier? It feels like we've just been moving back and forth between like a verse and a pre-chorus.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Perhaps this is the real
Yeah.
pre-chorus.
I'm fully activated.
I'm glad they used a real sax.
That's how you do a drop. That's
Yeah. Because, like, you can't get... Oh, that was nice. Like, it first kind of felt like the saxophone for a moment.
That's so fun. This is how you do variation when it comes to verse content. Oh, and they chopped it in half. Not that short before.
Yeah, it makes sense because it was a really long way up to the first chorus. Like, unless they're just going for a 2-arc song, this one probably will be shorter, like with NCT Punch.
I'm fully activated.
The saxophone screams and then it replies with brass hits.
It's a really nice texture, just the piano and guitars.
I like the crash cymbal. Is that a key change?
It was kind of sitting around a different key. It was kind of sitting around, I think, C sharp. It kind of went to the relative minor in the bridge, but also harmonically, you could just say it was kind of more of those chords in E major. I really like those little plucks. I don't know if they were actually just plucking them from a saxophone. The saxophone sound, just like sort of sampling a little bit of it, or if that was just sort of a saw that they, because of proximity, it felt associated with the saxophone, but...
Yeah, the bass textures were nice throughout.
Yeah. While this has some similar, like the Stamp on It was a lot of that, and then this is a lot of those progressions, like it's a lot of major 1 to minor 4 in both, or just like things kind of sitting in minor, but you get a major third in the tonic pretty frequently. That's feeling like maybe it's sort of a unified. I mean, I guess I don't know that. Yeah, actually, we did have that with a.
Oh, a step back.
In step back, and they do that sound a lot.
Is this Got the Beat sound?
Seemingly, based on the now 3 total Got the Beat songs I've heard, which, I mean, I guess that is like almost half of their songs, so doing something in almost half of your songs I think is fair to say that's part of your sound. I like the way they handled like incorporating sounds in this better than in Stamp On It.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I do like the switch-ups in Stamp On It. Like, I'm not saying this would have been a good title track, but I'm not saying this should have been.
Okay.
Because, like, the big just going really different places in Stamp On It works super well, I think.
All right. Whereas I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talk about how they're a little bit lost, like they felt like Stamp On It pushed the experimentalism a little bit too far for them, whereas these B-sides were like the perfect amount for them.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
I understand
like them both. I feel like Stamp On It works well for a title track, just like having a whole bunch of stuff in there.
It's so dramatic.
Yeah, but again, like if they didn't have that, could Goddess Level have been a good title track? Yeah, I think it could have. Like you could do some fun choreo stuff with the sax coming in.
What I really loved about this is that I was never bored, and I think that's thanks to like the personality of the instrumentals, specifically the sax, because like you'll want to like get up out of your chair when you hear that, which is exactly how I felt when I listened to Kepler's We Fresh, and the post-chorus has a sax-esque sounding part in it. It like makes you want to rise off your chair because of its ascension. And as well as like the various bass sounds and adding in new textures, like that second verse, sure, it was twice as short.
Yeah.
Half as long. Okay, I wasn't sure if I did that right. Twice as short. But they copy pasted a lot of the same textures over, but then they added in new layers and background vocals. There was a main rapping and there was some singing, ad-libbing in the background as well. And then when the chorus came back the final time, like you can even see on the video, people will replay the final chorus the most because they take what they had before, chop it up, and just make it even more grand and, you know, just amazing. So yeah, this is really, really solid. I'm so excited to continue to the next song. Elsa Curran, Jacob Atwool, Naive Neva, Kella Armitage, Jordan Powers, Danke, Josh Kumbi. Woo! Let's go. Apologies to any of the producers whose names I butcher. 3, 2, 1, alter ego. That sound effect. Oh, the NCT bass line.
Yeah.
Ba-da-da, minor descending.
I think it is kind of hitting a sharp 4 or a flat 5 on the way down too.
That's nice. Ascending bass, descending vocal line, contrary motion. Hey, I did not see like this song going in this direction, but I can't complain. Nice energy build.
There's a sharp.
Same bass line as before, yeah?
Yeah.
Da. Oh, it's different now. Da. Dee da da da. Dee da da da. But the texture, the instrumental for it changed, so it feels still as interesting. Yes, Toki. This section feels like a bit menacing, a bit plotting. I get action movie vibes from this song. Like the verses are the part of the movie when they're planning. And now they're like getting in the car and they're getting ready to do the thing, right? They're traveling.
Yeah.
They're getting on their attire, preparing. And the wait, but it's so happy. When it immediately drops, it feels like the colors brighten a little bit. Like,
Maybe.
and now they're like arrived at it. Oh, and then the post-chorus change. Now there's a bunch of lasers and they're like trying to get around the lasers. Nice.
Nice inflecting the tone of the rap.
See it? I bring the doom. It's like, whoa! Less like I bring the doom and more like I bring the sunlight.
Yeah, I feel like the chorus could be a bit harder hitting. Yeah,
But then that's what the post-chorus. That's why the post-chorus works so well. And now it's the action sing.
That's true.
Was that a little chime? Boom!
Oh.
What? Oh, outro. At the end, they all died.
Interesting.
And that was just like the hymn of like, rest in peace. Or they successfully walked away, but because of all the reverb made me feel like, oh, this is a little sad.
Yeah.
Like we're in heaven right now.
Yeah, heaven is very reverby.
Yeah.
People associate funerals with like cathedrals, and cathedrals
Cathedral is
are very wet, reverby.
Yeah.
With you telling the story of it, it did make me actually think of what the chorus I felt like did the job better, which is Villain by Girls' Generation.
This is the
Oh, like you feel like that immediate drop felt.
Yeah, I feel like that keeps that sort of villain. I guess you weren't saying villain specifically. Okay, actiony sound.
But action stories do need several different vibes, you know?
Yeah.
But it was an interesting choice to go a bit brighter in melody and harmony in the chorus and then darken up again in the post-chorus. That was a choice. But yeah, it definitely would have been really fun to keep that darkness and figure out a way to still make the post-chorus explode.
Yeah, and like I do like kind of it harmonically fills out because like a lot of it is just sort of the bass and the rapping or the melody. I like harmonically filling out in the chorus. I guess maybe I'm just wishing for somewhat different harmonies in the chorus that would keep it a little more intense.
Right. I'm curious, what do you guys think of the color changes? Were you like, when you arrived at the chorus, were you like, oh, this feels good, like I needed something like this? Or were you like, where'd the badassery go? Where are we in the action film? Let us know in the comments. Woo! Sandies! Let's go! Our homies! I mean, not homies, but like, we really like what they write.
And
Yunsu?
or possibly Donsu.
Right. We don't
sometimes
have the Hangul.
all and u are transliterated as you.
As ooh. Kashi. Rose. Yeah, there's the say and D's. Packet groove. Okay.
I like that starting on the 9th.
I like this progression so far.
Yeah. Yeah, Dee's sliding around the chords.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
That octave lower adds a little bit of darkness to the melody. The octave's gone now.
I don't know what they did with those chords, because the way that sound morphs is really nice.
Triplet changes. There's the got the beat sound. I love how quiet everything is, specifically vocal line. But it's also a little sounds in the back. This is the loudest it's been so far.
Nice. Doubling the voices in fifths.
Wow, I got goosebumps. Sure. Seriously, D's? Okay. A little frigid? Was there a flat two?
Another modulation.
This feels very through composed. I know we've had like one returning section, but this is really fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Something very thick, harmonized main melody with a bunch of different numbers riffing around. Back to from the beginning.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, like that was really creative, which is like the processing on the chords so that they were morphing and staying around, and also just the little effects. I think we ended up in a different key too. I think we started out in E flat and ended up in F, but went a lot of places. Like this wasn't just a boring transpose the whole thing up a step, which never works as well as people think it will. If you go a bunch of other places and then you end up higher, it can work super well.
And it'll be hard to catch on to it unless you have perfect pitch. Although I did get the bridge modulation. And then it was just after the bridge modulation, then we stayed in that key? Or?
I think. Yeah. And then at the end. Yeah, we started in E flat, we ended up in F, but we went to a bunch of like sharp keys in the middle. Back to 213, 3, 2, 1.
Two very boring minutes later.
So what's making you itch to figure these chords out?
They're moving around moving around what the sort of overall key implied or pitch collection is a lot. It doesn't really modulate to a particular key.
Okay.
it just starts moving around.
Prolongation. Or is it planing?
Wait, okay. It has been overall in E flat minor. I'm probably not getting this chord exactly right, but something with like a key area with 3 sharps. And then this is back, like, I think this is a G flat major 9th chord or something like that. So a chord with basically in the same key, pitch collection as E flat minor. But then this shifts down to like an F flat or back. You could just look at it as going into E, and then sort of a G Lydian type feel, or maybe B minor or something. But I don't think I'm getting this exactly right. Right now I have like a B flat sus 7, something like that. And then once it's sitting around B flat, it kind of can get that to acting as 5 of E flat.
So like playing these chords, what kind of colors or vibe do you feel like they show because of those those chord choices?
Just a lot of rapid shifts, both in terms of like what sort of the pitch field is, in terms of like what notes are in play in the implied scale at the time, but also a lot of shifting of like darker and brighter colors.
Right. I think one element that I loved so much about this song was that it had me clapping along just to see where things landed, because there were times where the chords were coming in on, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, or like 1, 3, 4, 1. The harmonic rhythm just kept changing its speed and like where it emphasized certain beats, and so I was just like clapping, and I had to keep subdividing more and more and more to figure out where it was hitting. And just having that experience listening to this just makes it so much more fun and makes me pay attention even more throughout, and I never got bored. I really enjoyed this song. This and Goddess Level so far is whoo!
Yeah, so currently Rose is my favorite on the Mini.
Okay. Oh, this next one. We have the same composers as Goddess Level.
Nice.
Outlaw.
Little format on filtering that was funny.
Thinking right now, like, where is this going? We're gonna keep the trap vibe the whole time? Have a little break. The progression is a little bit more comfy this time around. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the chorus probably goes back to the really heavy, like, gritty bass. It's my prediction.
Is there woo-woo in the background? I'm trying to form a story for this when it isn't 100% not fully coming together yet.
Nice use of space.
So many of the sound effects in this song sounds like farting.
Oh.
Tooting, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, when you release gas from your butt.
No, I just...
It's like... Like the synths have that like kind of emphasis on them. Not this section though. I feel like reading the lyrics will help form the story for this, because right now I'm not really seeing how they merge together. Yeah, woo woo woo. That was a little bit of extra woo woo in there.
Like with the sounds of the bridge of Stamp on it, the sort of super saw-ish sounds also feel a little bit like a nod back to the second generation parts of the group.
Okay. Nice. Okay. It feels like they took the idea of the chorus, of having something loud, angry, rebellious, and then they thought, okay, we need to write around it and provide enough variation from it and difference from it to so that there are, there's ups and downs and it'll keep the listener interested. But I think they went too far in vibe. I don't feel like the story was very consistent with this one. I felt like the pre-chorus was way too different of a mood than the chorus, and the verse was way too different of a mood from the pre-chorus and chorus. Like, for me, it didn't merge together as a... Because, like, the Phrygian and then, like, the really predictable pre-chorus hits with... And then, like, the release... I don't know. It didn't merge for me.
Yeah, I don't think I had an issue with how it blended. I feel like the ideas in the verse and pre-chorus aren't as striking as in a number of the other songs on here.
Yes.
Which I think that would be my critique, but like I feel like going into the chorus, it's like, okay, this feels like a good sort of payoff for what did come before.
This kind of pre-chorus I feel like could be used in any song though. That's why. It's like the pre-chorus build-up of subdividing will pay off any chorus that's a huge drop.
Yeah.
No matter what it sounds
that's
like.
That's fair. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for more of like the beginning has those weird stuff.
Yeah.
And like right before the drops, there is that little format.
Yeah. But for me, that didn't make any sense with the rest of the sections and their sound effects.
I mean, it does call back to that, but it's like, I do wish they'd used more of that. Like, the beginning isn't just that formant thing. Like, it's also just this weird, gritty bass, and I wish that were used more.
Integrated in.
Yeah, in more sections, whether that was replacing the pre-chorus with that, or if that was the post-chorus.
What's the term for when you're pretending to be someone else on a dating app? Catfishing. I felt like they catfished me with that intro because it only appeared as a small transition.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, this is really interesting, and then we went into trap, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of trap personally. And then we got rid of the trap with more like easy, like you know where the pre-chorus is gonna go. Like we've heard these kind of pre-choruses a lot of times. And then it went into like this large exploding Phrygian kind of chorus, which we've also heard a lot of with these kind of girl crush songs. And then it was like, but where's where's that intro? That intro was definitely what pulled me in, but since it didn't repeat throughout the rest, I lost my interest.
That's fair. I did think the vocal technique they were using, where they were kind of like they were rapping, but yeah, they were a little bit like they were staying closer to pitches. Like normally rap will follow a little bit more of like. It wasn't completely sung, but it was rap that was a little bit more pitched. They were like probably getting a little bit closer to a Sprachstimme type technique, where normal rap is more like speaking but in rhythm. I mean, if you're looking for like an old source of that, like Walton's Facade, that has that. Like that's based. That I mean, people won't call it rapping because it's from like the 1920s, but it's rapping. Whereas like. If looking at Sprachstimme with like Schoenberg most famously, like that's sort of similar in that it's a less pitched vocal technique, but it's a bit different, and that's what this sort of like the chorus is. Whereas like you can kind of pick out what pitches they're on, but it's very drifty, and like as soon as they hit a pitch, they're moving off of it.
True. That part was fun to the ears to listen to. So I'd say, yeah, the strength of the song was definitely the top line for me. And now we're moving on to Mala. Andreas, what's up, bro? Long time no see. No, actually, he probably wrote really recently. But like, I mean, I literally haven't seen him in person in a long time. I hope you're living a great life, bro. Maria Marcus, Stera 14, Woon Kim. Let's get it. We love the Maria Marcus Andreas Oberg pairing. I think they're the ones who did One of These Nights.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, Mala. So that's not what I thought from the first few seconds. Like I thought we were just getting into sort of like a Red Side summer song. And then we're back on the...
Is the flute Phrygian dominant? Oh, well, that's gone.
We'll get back to that when it comes back.
What? What's this vibe?
I like how just weird that bass is making this.
What? What? Even that new synth kind of has the flute, yep, vibe. The melody's very beautiful.
Yeah.
But what's that crashing sound? See, the built-in chord progression here adds a completely different flavor to the flute sample. In which it's such a different vibe in the verses with the same exact sample.
Pizzicato?
Oh. What effects are they putting on the pizzicato? Wait, so spicy, are they actually talking about like mala mala? I have a friend who's really obsessed with mala. I'll send us her song. Wait, at the end it kind of sounded like a clarinet.
I like that it just like, it makes you think it's one sort of song and then it keeps finding ways to subvert it.
That's like, exactly why I said what a million times.
Yeah, like it keeps me like, okay, this is just sort of a cute like Red Side summer song.
From Red Velvet, yeah.
Yeah, like, but yeah, like it keeps sounding like it's going to be that, and then it's like the flute is pulling that in a weird direction, or like having the bass just underneath this that sort of light, very F major-y progression.
I feel like this song, listening to this song, is the same as trying to put together a puzzle. Like you have a bunch of different colorful pieces and you think like you're actually putting the puzzle together. You think it's going one direction, but then it takes a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think it's going one direction, then it takes a turn and you're like, oh, this piece goes here. No, it doesn't. Like, this song was literally just putting together a puzzle, like the same exact feeling and vibe. It's surprising at every turn. I really love some moments. Wasn't so sure about other moments. I just think I really, really did love the vocal melody. I thought it was so beautiful at times. Like, yeah, then the bass comes in, like the 808s and the trap, and you're like, what? Why is this here? But at least it was like, you couldn't really predict what was going to happen next, so that was fun.
Yeah, no, I just kind of, I think it's because, like, it sounds like it's going to be a predictable song.
Yeah, true.
And then it's not. Like, I think that's what's making it fun, is it's just like, you keep thinking, okay, I get it. I know what sort of song it is. Nope, you don't. And we are back to that sort of, in the flute.
Got the beat sound.
Which I also think it was recontextualized a little in where the chorus is a lot more major, and instead of the sort of it's a little bit more of the sort of softer minor four sense that you get in like ballads a lot, and it's like it's the same chord but it's just being used in a very different way there. And I think like that. I think having the little flute-like sound through it so much did help tie it together, because like you hear it recontextualized, but you keep hearing that, so it feels like, okay, this does connect to the rest of the song because that's still here.
Right. I think to end this experience, y'all already know which our top 2 songs are.
Yep.
3, 2, 1,
Rose.
3, 2, 1,
Goddess Level.
What are your favorite songs? Let us know if you disagree with any of our opinions or agree with some. I absolutely love watching or reading, like just the comment sections, just discussing what you think of the songs rather than reaction requests, because we cannot get to everything, sadly. I am trying to grow our team more, but we're still really slow at putting out reaction videos, and now especially since artists are hoping to collaborate with us during their promotional period, so we're starting to focus on that more so we can show like more of the musical side from an idol's perspective. And a lot of these songs are really solid. I do want to show my crew the title track as well. So if we are unable to make like a full reaction video with all of our members reacting to these B-sides, at least a few of them will be up on our Patreon, because our Patreon is what helps us make videos like First Listen, since they take hours to film, hours to upload, hours to edit, you know, all of that stuff. So I really appreciate our patrons' help. This was so fun.
Yep.
Thank you, Got the Beat, for always being so exciting and empowering to listen to and confusing. We love confusion. Because confusion makes you think.
Yep.
And then when you think, you learn. And then when you learn, what do you do when you learn? You knowledge.
You knowledge?
You knowledge. All right, guys. Bye. Sleep well.